Yeah.
Yee-wee! We're back. After I think how long has it been? Let's see. Oh my gosh, has it been a month?
Or near it. We did one during the off season in here.
Time to check the dates. When was this?
We did one during the off season, because there was a big dead zone.
It was a month.
Yeah.
September 26th. That was back when
Mike
Babcock got fired.
Literally 2 days almost to the day.
Yeah, a lot's changed since then. Hockey's back, so hey.
And quite a lot's happened in a very short amount of time.
Hockey's back, so that means we're back for a week, and then
remember we thought the Bruins were done, and now they're 5-0. R.I.P. my predictions already. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, we can talk about predictions before the actual hockey being played.
I think we can. So here are the ones I made. I'm gonna just read them off in no particular order. For the Atlantic Division, I had the three teams in there. I had Toronto, Florida, and Ottawa.
Okay, not bad.
And then for the wild card, I had. Oh wait, the wild cards are different. And then for the Atlantic or Metro, Rangers, Devils, Canes.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick with that because I think they're all good. And then the wild cards, I had Florida Tampa and Buffalo for the East. And then for the West, I had Avs, Stars, Blues.
Okay.
And then Pacific, Vegas, Kings, Oilers. And then the wild cards, I had Seattle and the Wild.
I see the vision.
Not for Seattle, I don't.
I see the vision. I might just come up with my own predictions on the fly here.
Yeah, those are mine. And then for bottom five teams, I had Ducks, Sharks, Jets, Caps.
Oof.
Flyers.
The Caps might end up happening because they've had a rough start to the year.
They are putrid, and I picked Ovi, and I want to die.
Well, there's more bad news. We'll get into that later. Trying to see okay, all right. So for the Atlantic Division, for me, I got Toronto slotting up at 1. I have the Bruins at 2. And the Red Wings at 3, with the Lightning taking one of the 2 wild card spots. And in the Metro, I have New Jersey taking the 1 spot. I have the Hurricanes taking the 2, the Rangers taking the 3, and then I have the Penguins slotting in at that wild card spot. So that's my prediction for the East. For the West, I have Colorado at 1, the Stars at a very narrow 2.
Arizona. No,
I'm not taking Arizona. That's not happening. This one's a toss-up because it's hard between the Blues and the Wild. I think the Wild will eventually come up to the 3 spot, and I don't think anyone in the Central is going to get a wild card spot. So for the Pacific, I have the Knights at 1, the Oilers at 2. I think they'll bounce back, and the Kings at 3, which gives us our Oilers and Kings first round for the 3rd straight year.
Oh my God!
And then for the wild card teams in the West, I'm going to take the Kraken. And oh man, this is tough because there are a couple teams in the West I think could sneak in. I'll take the Kraken and the Flames for the wildcard teams.
Yeah, the Flames should have made it last year.
Yeah, but those 13 overtime losses kind of killed them.
Good old fossil known as Daryl Sutter. But yeah, no, this is going to be an interesting. It's
already
an
interesting.
An interesting season.
Yeah.
Where do we want to start with this? Because it seems like we could go just about any different way.
I think we start with the local team.
We start at home.
I think we start at home because
yeah.
Oh dear.
I was hearing about the game the last game they played, and it was bad
So
against St. Louis.
that game was very surprising because in the first period they looked decent. The Penguins are such a weird team, even like this year, because you have like their first periods where they look like their old selves, where they're like this dynasty, like still kicking, and then you have their third periods where they're like, oh, we're old and we don't want to play anymore. For context, the Penguins have started off 2-3 to the year. They play tonight against Dallas, at home against Dallas. I could have gone to that game. Well, no, I couldn't have, but...
Their next 2 games are Dallas and Colorado.
Ooh. So, there are a couple of things I've noticed with the Penguins. For starters, they have had a pretty rough start for their standards. That Chicago game, the first game in particular, it looked a lot like the Chicago game last year, where their playoffs lives were in the balance.
And they just died.
They had a really good start. They scored first. Everything looked good. And the first period ended, and oh boy, everything collapsed. Like, I've had people blame Tristan Jarry. I've had people blame the defense. I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah.
I think it's both, honestly. The other underrated thing is the Penguins are not good at center ice defense.
Mm-mm.
The majority of the chances they're giving up are in the slot, right at the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So, I get sometimes you need a save, and, I've been guilty about saying that about a bunch of goalies. Sometimes you just need a save, and while that is true, you can't expect your goalie to go out there and save 5 to 6 slot chances uncovered. To me, their bottom 6 in terms of center depth looks pretty bad. Just because, there's always seems to be on every goal that they give up, there always seems to be that one guy in the middle lost in coverage. Whether it's Carlson or Letang taking someone behind the net that they shouldn't, or it's one of the centermen trying to make up for one of the defensemen going back, or if it's Jarry just not being able to track the puck. There are a bunch of things that are concerning with the Penguins.
Yeah. And they never addressed their bottom 6 issue. 2, I only saw this. I didn't know if it was true or not. They decided, let's put Jeff Carter on the second power play.
They've kept him there.
Why?
I don't know. And, in my opinion, they've addressed the bottom 6 enough to where, it's better than last year. I can
but that's
concretely say
much.
it's better than last year. Well, yeah.
Just about anything was better than what they were getting last year. And I get, the additions of Achari and Eller and Nieto, are good additions. But it's I don't know. I just still don't see it. This team is still...
It's missing something that they've had in the past. But the problem is it's hard to pick it up.
Well, they built their team around speed, and now they're old and slow.
Oh, yeah. And, here's the thing, their top 6 isn't slow. Their top 6 is still pretty speedy. The bottom 6, I see what Dubas was trying to do, but I would have liked to see a little bit more speed instead of size, because the NHL now is all about speed. I think every Stanley Cup champion since 2016 that the Penguins started was purely off of speed. They were fast. They were great passers. That team defensively, every single team defensively that's won the Cup hasn't been all that great.
Last year I could make a case for it because there's Vegas was basically all physical, and then Shea Theodore.
Yeah. Except
Pretty
they had
much.
Physical guys that were fast too. Most of the time Vegas was pressing.
I guess
all
Alec
the way
Martinez
up.
and Pietrangelo are pretty fast, I'd say.
But everything was pressure, pressure, pressure. Don't give them an inch. The Panthers made that run because of speed.
No, they did.
I watched them in every single round they played in, and they won those series because of speed. Boston, who also was older, couldn't keep up with the Panthers, and it was tough. Like, there are a lot of things that go into being a good team, and in my opinion, the Penguins, if I had to pinpoint something that's not goaltending, which I have a tough time, like, labeling every single bad thing on a team being goaltending, and while I admit goaltending is one of them, it for sure is one of them, it's not the entire thing. The Penguins need to get faster. Whether that's calling young guys up from the minors and sending people down or getting a couple trades, like, you got to get faster, especially in that bottom six, because, like, the bottom six has been hemmed in their own zone way too much.
No, they're too, and I think the issue is the organization's too stubborn to admit that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, like, getting Dubas in was a good change, like, in the right direction for them, but it's going to take a while to clean up Hextall's mess of getting way older because of he wanted the veteran presence, but that's not how things work anymore.
No.
It's going to take time.
Look at Washington as a great example of that.
Wow.
I'm dying inside.
We can make the transition to Washington because
Do they deserve much time though? They've been horrible.
I think we should spend some time on them because they didn't have expectations to really make the playoffs or do a whole lot this year, but they did have expectations to surround Alex Ovechkin with good playmakers to break that goal record, and in the first couple games of the season, he was held without a shot. Like, multiple games in a row without a shot, which is the first time ever in his career.
I know. My fantasy team is crying internally because of that. I'm 0-2 for a reason.
I mean,
he's a big part of that. No, you haven't. It's helping a little bit. But he's a big reason why I am 0-2 currently. That and a certain someone getting hurt. I'm crying inside.
Who's the player? Who's the player?
We'll talk about it later.
The best player in the world?
Yeah. Like, the phrase I'm dying inside is just, like, written on my forehead mentally right now.
Yeah.
But, no, they're just so frustrating because, like I said last time, they're just old. Like, for one thing I never understood was why they brought in Max Pacioretty. I still don't get that.
Or the Tom Wilson signing.
They didn't trade Kuznetsov.
They should have.
Their defense is still trash, like beyond trash. And while I like the addition of Sandin, he's not doing much here because the team's not built for his play style.
Rasmus Sandin is not a top 2 defenseman yet. He's not. And, like, they're trying to use him in that role with John Carlson, but the issue was...
I thought they were using Ferravari.
They were trying to move him up in the top 2.
Oh, God.
But even Ferravari, not that great.
That's the issue. Like, Carlson's already, I think, lost, like, the biggest part of what makes his game great. And then you put it with literally nobody else who can play up there with him.
Because you need a defensive presence with him.
But I literally think the second best defender on the team is Nick Jensen. That's not saying much.
And that's
not saying
a
much.
really big part of the issue. And, like, of course, with the Capitals, like, you have Ovechkin, who's over 35. I forget, like, how old he is.
37.
Ovechkin's 37. Backstrom, I think, is 35 and hurt. Oshie's over 30.
I think Backstrom's career is just about doomed.
Yeah.
No, Backstrom's there.
I know Backstrom's there, but he's over 30.
Yeah.
And Backstrom had that hip surgery last season.
For reference, he has 0 points.
Yeah.
7 shots, 5 of which were the last game,
Oh,
which was against Montreal. He had 2 shots through his first.
Did they win that game against Montreal?
No, they lost 3-2 in overtime.
Wow.
Which is...
It's still early, but
the reason I'm just disheartened is because they did nothing to really address their defensive issues, and it all stems back from one contract, which I did not like when they gave it to begin with. It was Darcy Kemper. Like, they had much bigger issues on their team, and they said, all right, we're going to overpay for a goalie who... My bad.
No, you're good.
Stats-wise, was coming off his worst season, but yet they won a cup, so they were like... Or did he win a cup?
Did he win Kemper?
Yeah.
Yeah, he won with Colorado.
So he won and then immediately saw
He had the lowest save percentage of a Stanley Cup winning goalie.
Yeah. And it was like, I looked at that, I'm like, you do realize there's bigger issues and that contract has a potential to be horrid.
Yeah. But
And
he was
it's
like the best
just-
goalie available because you had him and Jack Campbell, and that's it. And Jack Campbell wasn't that much better.
I don't know.
I'd
That's
rather
the issue.
I'd probably rather have Kemper than Campbell right now.
But it feels like it's literally. Have you ever seen the meme of like the McLaren that's like sitting outside like a trailer?
Yeah,
That's what this feels like. Ovechkin
is the McLaren.
and Kemper are the McLarens, and the rest of the team is the disgusting trailer. It's like they were bigger issues they needed to look in the mirror and realize,
Yeah.
but they're not going to until the day Ovi retires. And when that day comes, it's going to be a dark day in DC. It's going to be ugly. They are going to be bad for years, and they did this all to themselves. And I feel bad because I've talked about it with friends. Alex Ovechkin is the Drew Brees of hockey.
He
and
won
I
a
stand
ring.
by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so did Brees.
Yeah.
So did Ovechkin. But they had plenty of chances to win it, and every single time their team always fell short when it mattered.
To the Pittsburgh Penguins.
To the Pittsburgh Penguins, to the Rangers, to the Canes, to the Islanders, to just about anybody. It's
Yeah.
just the Penguins was the biggest meme ever.
Also, I'm a little mad at you because you said Nick Backstrom didn't have a point, and Backstrom opened the scoring against Toronto.
You're lying.
Yeah, I'm not.
I know that was the only game. Oh my god.
I'm not.
That's actually hilarious.
Thanks for that. I appreciate it. Thanks for that.
I love that I just spoke that into existence.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Oh, it's okay. I left Ovi on the bench.
No, Backstrom scored.
I know. And Ovi got an assist, and I left him on the bench.
Oh my god. Yeah. Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
We're good at fantasy, baby.
I appreciate that.
Where do we want to go next? Because it's just league
Let's
is
go.
started
Let's go
off-
to your team. I think.
must I?
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go to the Kraken. Your
like
favorite
being
team.
punched in the nuts repeatedly. That's what this team is doing to me.
Hey
So for
now.
reference,
Hey now.
folks,
We're on the air. You get.
That's
keep
why I
it
didn't
PG.
say. That's why I didn't say anything bad. I said the nuts. I did not say any swear. word.
Oh boy.
For reference, folks, you're gonna hear me get very upset with this game. Okay, I'm not upset with the Blues shutout law. Well, actually, no, I am kind of upset with that one. They should have won that, but I hate the shootout. I think most fans hate the shootout. But you know what? Whatever gets results faster, I understand.
Wait, did they disallow the goal?
That would be fun.
Never mind. Backstrom didn't open the scoring, and the goal was disallowed.
But for reference, like, okay, they have one win, and it was against the Canes of all teams, and they scored 7 goals.
Ooh.
Besides that game, their other 5 games, they have scored 4 goals.
Oh boy.
That's atrocious. Not only did they only score 4 goals, they have given up, and I kid you not when I read the stat, it makes me just want to die, 19 or 17. I'm bad at math. They've given up 17 goals in their 5 losses.
Oh my gosh.
That's atrocious. And the defense is a part of it. I hated the Dumoulin signing when they made it. I was not happy when I saw that. And
I even
stand
told
by
you it wasn't that great.
I laughed when Vancouver decided to drink the stupid juice and pay a lot for Carson Soucy. I did not think they were going to be stupid and do this, but apparently they are this stupid.
I don't know what you guys are saving the cap room for. Because, like, there were some goaltenders available.
The issue is they really can't. They're stuck with Grubauer's awful contract for at least this next season before they could do anything with it. They have to eat his contract this season and hope he just does something, which, by the way, 0.40, 896 save percentage. Ooh. He has been horrible, and that's being nice. Joey Decord is starting to get more starts now because Philip Grubauer has literally that bad. That man turned into the modern-day Corey Schneider. It's actually depressing watching him play.
I mean, you kind of have to. You got to start the better goaltender because, like, if Grubauer's putting up those numbers, like, it's almost unusable.
It's not like it gets any better. We play Detroit at Carolina. We're gonna die. Like, I just literally, like, that phrase. That phrase, I'm dying inside, sums up how I feel. Because it's just, like, one, the scoring is not there. I'm glad Ty Cartier is back and starting to get involved some more. I still think the Pierre-Edouard Bellemare signing was dumb, but it's whatever.
So it's year 3 of Kraken hockey, and they're already driving you nuts.
A little bit. It's just frustrating because they haven't made a ton of big moves, all right? They've made a lot of small moves, trading for Bjorkstrand, signing Burakovsky, which, fantastic idea.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Is not worked out since the injury. I don't even think is playing still.
Burakovsky's out for, like, weeks again.
Yeah, and I'm not going to blame the organization on that. It was the right idea in mind. It's just frustrating because that's, like, one of our biggest signings.
He's one of your best players, if not, like, top 5 best players.
He's not on the ice enough.
No, he's not.
And that's just an unfortunate thing. It just compiles with all the moves that they made that just haven't worked. I.e., like I said, I'm just going to circle Philip Grubauer's contract. Dunn's also been having a rough start to the year.
Yeah.
Although he had a really good game against Carolina, I'm hoping he takes that and runs with it.
It's still early, so, like, they can turn it around.
I'm just concerned because their defense is really, really worrying me. They still play Adam Larson on the first line. That,
yeah.
Between him and Will Borgen forgetting how to hockey, it does not help things.
Forgetting how to hockey.
That is the best way I can describe it. This man forgets how to hockey. He just doesn't use his brain half the time. And it makes me want to scream because he makes Elysiak look worse. And he's easily our best defender, like, in front of our own net.
Yeah, because he's, like, 6'8".
Yeah, and actually good at defending.
Yeah.
He knows how to... He puts his body in the right spots and makes actual good decisions. Borgen does not. And it makes me want to scream. But...
My main thing with the Kraken is, like, at some point, you guys need to get a goalie that is above a 900 save percentage, because you have not had it yet.
When the sad part is we're praying for Joey Daccord to be that's not a good sign.
He probably won't be.
He won't be. I'm not stupid.
You guys still have Chris Drieger on your team, by the way? No, is he? He's in the...
told the pound sick. He either got cut or he's in the AHL.
I think he's in the AHL.
He's not on the roster, that's for certain.
Because I remember, like, it was this huge thing. He had that great year in Florida during the expansion draft, and you guys picked him.
You know what? That sums up how stupid we were. We took him during COVID year. We're just... Like there was 10 different players who put up fluky seasons that year and then haven't come close to
You could have taken Ovechkin in the expansion draft if you remember that. Because the Caps left him exposed. Yes.
God, who did we take with them?
I don't remember.
Keep talking.
I honestly don't remember, but I remember there was this huge thing where it's like, I think was Ovechkin left exposed?
I think he was.
No, it was Carey Price who was left exposed for Montreal, and Tarasenko was left exposed.
Carey Price was probably
St.
for the
Louis.
best, given how much he's had a lot of
considering he's not playing hockey anymore. Yeah,
That's just like I hope he's doing better. I hope he's enjoying his life.
I was gonna say, like, who was it? Ovechkin? I think Ovechkin might have been left exposed because it was before his extension.
Let me see if I can find it. That's the Atlantic. Here's the Metro. Where is Washington? Backstrom.
Oh, I think you guys took Vitek Vanacek and then traded him back to the Caps.
Oh my God, it was.
And that's looking really bad.
It was Vanacek. Oh my God.
And you guys gave back the best goalie you picked for like nothing.
I didn't actually clock that until you said it. But no, the forwards, it was Backstrom, Eller, Kuznetsov, Mantha, Oshie, Sprong, and Wilson. They protected Sprong over Ovi. That's an interesting.
So wait, read that list again slowly.
Backstrom,
hurt.
Eller,
off the Caps.
He's now with Pittsburgh, ironically.
With Pittsburgh.
Kuznetsov, bad.
Who wanted to be traded.
Yes. Mantha, bad.
Who is a healthy scratch.
Was he really?
Yes.
Oshie,
That
That one, though, is going to happen. They're going to keep him. Sprong
Not on the team anymore.
was with the Kraken.
Yeah, went to the Kraken.
On a
now
trade,
with Detroit.
mind you.
Okay.
Because I forget, who did we... Oh, that came over in the Was it the Marcus Johansson trade?
Yes.
It was the Marcus Johansson trade. Yeah. And then Tom Wilson.
Who has 0 points and 20 penalty minutes in 5 games.
Oh, Lord. That's wild. Like, but I want to look at some of these picks.
Oh, boy.
Because there were some bad ones. Like, there was Jeremy Lazon, which I know we got.
He's
value
playing
for.
on your team right now.
No,
It's
not.
fine.
No,
Oh, he's not? Where is
we
he?
traded him back. No, we traded him to like Nashville, and then I don't know where he's at now. After
Oh, okay.
Nashville gave up a 2nd-round pick for that dude. It was hilarious.
Better
But,
than Lightning giving up heaven and earth for Tanner Jeannot.
there's some of these names I look at, and I'm like, what are we doing? Like here's a few. Dennis Oh my God.
You can't. Let me see it.
Kolowski.
Let me see
Kolowski.
Let me see
Dennis Kolowski from the Red Wings. Who?
That is Chalowski.
Chalowski. I'm bad with names. I thought it was... Oh, wait. You see, I'm dyslexic. It's okay. Drieger, bad. Maureen Geeky, eh. Nathan Bastian, that was a stupid decision. I hate
And you traded him back to New Jersey.
because he sucked. Gavin Bayreuther, like, that's one they should have kept.
Who
I
you
don't
traded
understand.
back to Columbus.
Oh, my God. That one made me so angry. Carson Twarynski. What?
Minor league.
Horrible. Tyler Pitlick.
Not with the team anymore.
Like, oh my God, Mason Appleton, who was supposed to be a good player, was horrible.
Isn't he with
Alexander
Winnipeg
Schur-
now? Yeah.
I think he went back to
Yeah.
Winnipeg. I think he signed back with Winnipeg.
How many players did you take?
John
go back?
Quenville.
Oh.
Like, you see some... Jonas Donskoy.
He retired. He
Strong
had
dislike to
he
that
had
man.
he had concussion issues. He
I
retired.
was not happy, though, when we made that when we picked him from the Avs. But it's like, I look at a lot of those, and I'm just like, they got really not much value for it. Like, now it's worked out because a lot of their stuff came from signings and trades after being bad their first year. And that was fine.
Taking Jared McCann from Toronto.
You mean from Pittsburgh?
From Toronto.
They took Jared
We
McCann
traded for Jared McCann, and you guys took him.
because you decided we want to
Kerfoot.
protect Kerfoot.
Kerfoot instead.
That's actually really
Kyle
funny.
Dubas. Let's protect Kerfoot.
That's actually so funny. But no,
Or Justin Hall.
who's now in Detroit.
Yeah, he leads the NHL in plus minus. We're 5 games in. Don't let it fool you.
It's a secret. He leads the NHL plus minus.
6 games. Just wait. Just wait.
Wait, I don't. Like I said, I know it's early, but does he really?
Yeah.
Is it like plus 10?
Plus 8.
That's hilarious.
Oh, no, just wait.
I know he's gonna go bad at some point, but that's just hilarious knowing that. But it's frustrating for me because it's like the start's been bad. They haven't played up to where I think they should be, and it's very early. Like I said, I'm gonna give it to like late November. If they're still playing bad, then if they're not even like around 500 hockey, then I'm gonna be concerned. But the issue is, it's like, you know, I know the Oilers are doing very bad right now, and like I said, a certain someone is hurt, but
We could talk about it.
yeah, a certain McDavid is hurt, but.
I was going to say, we've been alluding to this for
We have.
what, 20 minutes?
But like they have the Preds. They played horrid against the Preds, and I'm not convinced they're gonna figure it out. They have Toronto at the very last game of the month.
Oh, they'll win that.
That's gonna be horrible.
They'll win that.
They still have the Canes. They have the Red Wings. They got, like I said, they have the Avs. They have the Islanders, and I just haven't seen them step up to where they needed to right now. I know they got some games against like the Sharks and Yotes and Canucks, who I'm not convinced are a good team still. I'm not. I'm just,
Nah, it's early. But, like, you know why Edmonton is struggling, right?
yeah. ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
this thing called goaltending for, like, the 18th millionth time.
What about Jack Campbell?
I'm glad you guys tampered with him because you guys sure don't like to use him.
Well, the issue is they just kind of had to now because a certain Stuart Skinner is.
Is Stuart Skinner hurt or is he bad? Or both?
No, he's not hurt, but I want to read.
Oh,
his
no.
first 3 games.
Oh, no.
first game against Vancouver. Actually, I want to double check.
I watched that game.
I want to double check to see if he came in. Did he start the
I think he
game?
started.
I actually have no idea because here's a fun fact of that Vancouver 8-1 loss.
Yeah.
Stuart Skinner played 32 minutes, 16 shots against, 4 goals, 12 saves, a 750 save percentage. Jack Campbell, 27-30, 16 shots against, 4 goals, 12 saves, 750 save percentage. So, yeah, that happened game 1. Then they played Vancouver again. He made 12 saves, gave up 4 goals, and a 750 save percentage.
What?
And then against Winnipeg, he made 24 saves, gave up 3 goals, and had an 89 save percentage. That's Stuart Skinner. Jack Campbell. He had that 750 save percentage. Then he got the only win that they have, putting up a 977 save percentage, and made 43 saves. Good Lord. 43 saves.
Did they still lose?
They won that game.
Oh, okay.
And then to Philly, they gave up 4 goals on 32 shots. He made 28 saves and an 875 save percentage. Good Lord, that is bad.
Yeah, and then against Nashville, the Oilers were like in that game all the way until Stuart Skinner decided,
No, it wasn't
I don't want to
Nashville.
play goalie anymore.
No, it wasn't Nashville.
Who was it? I think it was Nashville. Yeah,
No,
it was.
that was their only win. They won 6-1.
Oh no! What?
Who
Who?
the Fly? No, it was the Jets game.
It was a Jets game. It was a
It was
Jets
the
game.
Jets game.
It was a Jets game.
Bro, they were winning 2-0, and then they said, "Nah, we're good."
Yeah, because he violated the number 1 rule of hockey. Do you know what the number 1 rule of hockey for goalies is?
If you're a goaltender,
If you're a goaltender, consider tending the goal.
Tend the goal.
Consider tending the goal.
I've never understood that. All my
I have
4 years watching hockey races.
I have friends who are goalies. Okay. Friends who are goalies. I've asked this question numerous times to them. And even back when I played club hockey and high school hockey, and even now where I play men's league, okay? I ask why they go out and try to play the puck. And the number 1 answer is we're trying to help the defenseman. And I said, okay, how many times have you been scored on trying to play the puck? And they said many of times. To my next question, I ask,
Are you helping?
then why are you doing it?
Then, you should have said, "Are you actually helping?"
They're not helping. Okay. I have a couple of stories on this, and Tyler, if you're listening, I apologize. Josh, if you're listening, I apologize. So, this was, I think, 3 years ago, right? We're playing a tournament, ironically in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So, screw it. I'll just tell the whole story. So, the other team dumps the puck in, and our goaltender at the time comes out to play the puck. And mind you, we're on the power play, and there is no one within 15 feet of him. So they're all the way back by the blue line. He got defenseman on his left and right hand side wide open, and he decides to try to send it up the middle to our center.
Oh, this story's great.
The forechecker, who wasn't even paying attention, he was just trying to take up space like you do on a forecheck against a power play, hits off the guy's head, bounces off his forehead, launches all the way up and into the net. We ended up losing that game 4-3. The funniest one, I could tell this one really well because it was very recently.
That is wild.
The other one, the good news about this game
my
was
God.
we won,
No.
and the reason why this one popped into my head is because my girlfriend actually told this story she told it to you on Friday.
A day or two ago. Yeah.
Yeah, this was on Friday.
Oh my God.
So,
That game was- that was
Tyler,
funny.
once again, I apologize. So puck comes out of our zone, and Tyler comes all the way up to like our own blue line to get it and tries to advance it, but no one's open. So he carries it almost to the neutral zone, whiffs on the pass, and then he tried to do like a scorpion save like 15 feet away from his net.
Is it eerily
I wish I
similar?
had a video of it.
I know this is probably nothing like it. You know the one clip of Karel Vejmelka?
It's like that.
Is he someone that? Oh
Yeah.
no!
Where he tries to go out
He's
and do
like,
a
"I'm gonna
flying
help.
poke check and
I'm gonna help."
completely
No.
misses it.
I'm here to help. Oh, you really did not help.
At the time,
Oh, that's great.
at the time, it wasn't funny because, like, I legitimately felt bad for what happened. But now, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Being a goalie is the hardest position in like almost
Yes.
any sport because you are taking a lot of crap.
Oh,
from
no,
fans.
here's the thing. Like, any other position, if you're bad, you might get a pass for it if your other teammates are playing good.
You
If
don't
you're
get
playing bad as a goalie,
You get no pass.
you get no pass. Everything is your fault. Like, the goals are your fault. The goals not going in are your fault. Like, if your team puts up, like, a 14-shot, 1-goal game, and the other team put up, like, 60 shots and 4 goals, it's somehow your fault that you didn't stop enough pucks so your
You
team
didn't
could
stop
win.
59 of the 60 shots.
You didn't stop 59
You
of
only
the
stopped
60.
57.
Yeah, like, it's stuff like that. It's just...
Oh my god.
It's such a thankless job, and, like, I genuinely don't know how people do it. And,
No.
like, that's why I have a tough
The tough
time
days are like
blaming
that, but what-
everything on
But
goalies.
there are certain times you just watch and it's like.
Oh, yeah,
no,
like,
this
keep
is
in
your
mind,
fault.
they don't get, like, have you ever watched, like, the show Survivor before with, like, the hidden immunity idol and stuff like that? You don't have that hidden immunity idol hanging, like, hanging up in your pants. Like, no, you have a little bit of blame. You don't have all of it, but, like, if you make a gaffe like that, it's your fault.
It's your fault. That's a great story. I'm so glad you told that.
Tyler, I'm sorry.
It's all in good fun.
He's
Also-
gonna revoke my groomsman position after that story. Yeah.
Also, because I know you are looking at the game.
Yeah.
It is 1-0 Maple Leafs.
Oh,
folks,
wow.
Off of a goal from Morgan Riley with assists from Timothy Liljegren and Max Domi.
Oh, okay.
How have the new guys been so far for you?
John Klingberg can't play defense.
You guys knew that when you signed him.
Yeah, we did. So the new guys have been decent. I will say that. Like,
Ryan
welcome
Reeves,
change.
baby.
Ryan Reeves, I'm still a little mad because
He has
I think
-4
Matthew.
already.
Well, Matthew Nyes, I think someone, I forget who it was, just got leveled in their game against Chicago, and Ryan Reeves did nothing.
Nice. Literally the one thing he was supposed to be there for.
Yeah, that's why I was a little mad because I'm like, aren't you supposed to be there for punching people
It's your-
and like
literally your one job.
preventing things like this?
That's your one job here.
But like overall, they've been pretty good. Max Domi had a couple of bad games and woke up, so he's playing pretty good. Main concern about the Leafs right now is Ilya Samsonov is oh dear, not good.
Oh,
Yeah, you see it?
there's a certain stat I see.
Yeah, go ahead and read them out.
Okay, so let's start with Montreal. He won this game. He gave up 5 goals on 24 shots. Only made 19 saves for a 792 save percent. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, what? How did you win the first 2 games? You won against Minnesota. He gave up 4 goals on 32 shots, made 28 saves for an 875 save percentage. You then lost his only 900 save game. His 900 save percentage game, he only gave up 2 goals on 21 shots, and you lost.
He has an 831 save percentage.
No. There's a certain stat I want to say, though.
Oh, no.
So,
What
folks,
is it?
against Tampa Bay, I can't believe I saw that stat.
Oh, what? It was like 2
Folks,
goals on 3 shots or
It
something,
was-
and he got a .25.
He faced 4 shots, gave up 3 goals, made 1 save for a 250 save percentage. only played 13-29, got yanked. Joseph Wall came in immediately after, put up a shutout.
Yeah, because, like, of course he did.
You guys won that game.
Yeah, because Mikhail Sergachev was like, oh, we had a long summer, like Toronto has always experienced, and then the game-winning goal goes off a shin pad. Sucks to suck, Sergachev. Anyway.
The good old John Tavares overtime goal.
I love reruns, except when it's the Leafs are on the bad end.
In
this case, I like reruns. Yes. In this case, I love reruns.
Oh, that's hilarious, though. Given the fact... Oh, wait, no, you are playing the Cavs right now. Given the fact this is your next game, I feel like you guys are doing just fine. That is so funny, though. Bro, 250?
Yeah. That was bad.
I'm curious, just because I want to know, what was your reaction watching that game?
How
loud were you cussing in the first period?
A lot of words that I said at the time watching the game I cannot say on DSTV.
How many not family friendly words do you think you used in the first just the first period?
Oh dear.
Over a few dozen?
Nah, it was probably in the hundreds. That was bad. Like I was like
oh no.
No, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, you literally cannot stop a beach ball, because a couple of those were just... I mean, I get Nikita Kucherov's one-timer, but, like, you know it's coming. Come on. But no, like, I think it'll get better. Like, the goaltending situation will get better, and it's not bad because Joseph Wall's playing good, so...
It helps your offense is humming like a drum.
Yeah, and Matthews opened the season with 2 hat tricks in a row, but hasn't had a point since, so I'm like...
He still has 6 goals already, which is nuts.
6 goals, 0 assists for 6 points.
Tavares has 9 points.
Nylander has 9.
Like, Matthew Nyes literally saved you guys against Tampa.
Matthew Nyes and Max Domi.
And Max Domi, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Domi's been decent for you guys since coming in.
Domi's been a pleasant surprise.
He has. I know, like I said, it's very early. But who would you say would be the biggest surprise through the first 5 games?
Oh, I can't give it to any of the core 4 because, like, they're...
Oh, I meant as a team.
Like, team in general?
Yeah.
You might crucify me for saying this, but the Flyers.
That one's fair.
Because, like, I expected them to jump out to a really, really bad start and go dumpster diving again. And, like, it's early. I understand that. But they've been pretty good. And the guy who's, like, stood out as being good is Carter Hart. Or as the Philly side of my family would say, Kata. But Carter Hart's been actually really good. Like, 929 save percentage, has made the saves when they need them. Cam Atkinson with 3 goals. Joel Farabee with a good start to the season with 3 goals. Travis Konechny with an unreal 5-goal, 2-assist start to the year. They've missed him because he's been out with injury for a long time. Forever. Sean Couturier's back, which is a big jolt to the team. Like, the Flyers, if they play their cards right, can have a good future ahead of them. They just got to wait for Michkov to come over, and they got to draft smart. Don't sign any more stupid contracts. Rasmus Ristolainen. But
extend the man some more.
Extend him for league min. That's the max you pay him.
$10 million.
No.
I'm kidding, but no, that's actually a good one. I think I think the biggest thing that surprised me with them is that they've looked really good in front of their own net for the most part.
Yeah.
And I think that's surprising given the fact that their defense looks
anything that's, to me, like a good season for the Flyers, because like I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They're definitely not there yet. But I think like a decent season for them is like 35 to 40 wins. I think they could get to 35 wins. That's like a good young team start. Like, if they can do that, they might be slightly ahead of the Blue Jackets in a rebuild.
Yeah.
And it's all because of the GM change, because Chuck Fletcher, In my opinion, if they didn't have Chuck Fletcher, they would be a playoff team already. Their rebuild would have been done.
He might be one of the worst GMs of all time.
He's one of the worst ones. Like, the Flyers should have...
He's up there with Mike Milbury.
Yes. Because if you take that 2018 series loss to the Penguins when the writing was on the wall where they're like, hey, we got to figure out like what we're doing. They had that 2020 run in the bubble. But when it got to that point, when like mid-2021 they just didn't look good and then they started to like sell some pieces off, they had the pieces to rebuild on the fly. They just handcuffed themselves with bad contracts. And now that that habit is gone, they've focused on developing guys in the minors, drafting well, not signing dumb contracts. The dumb contracts that they did have, they moved all of the movable ones out. So I think they have a chance of righting the wrongs of the last regime, but it's still going to take time. Like, I can see them, because Mitchkov will be probably in the KHL for another like year or two, give or take. It depends what happens. But I think the Flyers' goal is when Mitchkov comes to North America, they want to have a good team around him so they can just plug him in and go. And I think they can easily do that.
Yeah, because I literally just looked through Chuck Fletcher's moves.
Uh-huh.
So he sent away fan favorite Wayne Simmons to Nashville in 2019.
That one was necessary, though.
Yeah, but
in
then
my
the next
opinion.
move after just sums up why this was stupid. Because then he then traded for Kevin Hayes and signed to a 7x7.
Who Briere actually was able to trade somehow.
I don't know how they did that. That was not because of him, though.
No.
They re-signed Travis Konechny.
That was a good decision, in my
trades
opinion.
that really didn't make much consequence. They traded Eric Gustafson and Michael Raffle for picks.
Yeah,
But
like
they
I
did
could see
sign
that,
Cam
but you need to
York
have...
that, so it did help
Yeah.
a little bit. They then traded Nolan Patrick for Ryan Ellis.
Well,
remembers that
both
trade?
players, like, I don't even know if Nolan Patrick's even playing. I don't think he is.
I don't know. It's still just a disgustingly bad trade because the
For both
Ellis
sides.
move was worse.
Yeah, because they signed him to that
bigger contract. Barely play. He's only played 4 games.
Yeah,
He's only played 4 games.
both of them plagued by the concussions.
Which the reason it looks so stupid is because then he dumped Shane Ghost to spare, and then traded for Rasmus Ristolainen. And signed him to a 5-year deal. I know he also he gave Carter Hart a bridge deal. He signed Sean Couturier and Joel Farabee. I know he
all
signed
good
all
decisions.
the young decisions. But then also signed Tony DeAngelo.
Not a good
when
decision.
John Tortorella was there.
Not a good decision.
So I sit there, I'm like, I don't understand what you're doing. So it's like, I do get that, because it's like, it's just a long history of just bad decisions. So
Oh, yeah.
I do see what you're talking about. Like, they would have, I think their top players are very talented, underratedly talented. But, yeah, without any sort of help that they got none of,
Yeah.
it's just tough. You know who mine is?
Who?
You'd be shocked when I say Arizona.
Yeah. I could see that one.
The reason is, I literally looked at them, they're going to go, 1-9 their first, 10
It's
games.
because Alex Kerfoot and Jason Zucker, you know?
It's really not. Jason Zucker is hurt right now. And Alex Kerfoot has 0 points and 4 shots.
Hey, he has the intangibles, you hear me?
No, a certain Logan Cooley has helped them a lot.
Yeah.
Also, Clayton
fantasy
Keller
pick.
is unbelievably good. He is an underratedly, insanely talented player.
Trade deadline piece.
He is along with Nick Schmaltz. Both of them are trade deadline pieces. But honestly, if Arizona could, I don't think they will keep up. Also, Vemelka is incredible.
Also on my fantasy team.
Yeah. The reason I say all this is that I look at what Arizona is doing, at least this year, and it felt like they were just not going to. It felt like they weren't even trying.
Oh, yeah. I agree
But also
with that.
at the same time, like, there's just something there that's working. I don't even know what it is. Like, I did like some of the moves they made. Bringing in Sean Dursey was a great move. I liked them bringing in Travis Dermott. I liked what they did with. I like that they brought up Logan Cooley and just let him play right off the gate. Like, I love that they still are using guys like Matthias Michelli. Like, they have a lot of good players, and I would hope that they could find some way to keep Keller and Schmaltz around long term. Because if you can, this team has stuff that can be good in 1 or 2 years. I know it's a big ask given the fact that 1, their team is a locale. 2, they have no good ownership. 3, they play at ASU.
I was gonna say no building, not great ownership. Like,
But
I genuinely don't know.
Playing decent, and their defense is actually decent. Their top 4 of Jersey, Mosser, Dermott, and Dumba have actually played very good.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with like getting bailed out by Vejmelka and Logan Cooley's hot start. Like, there are a lot of things with Arizona like I'm just not convinced with, because it's really just it's basically throwing a ton of darts at the dartboard and hoping that things will work instead of like actually building a team that has chemistry. Like, I can see how they're like jumping off to this good start, but with me, the difference between Philly and Arizona in terms of the surprising start, Philly is like actually playing towards an identity and like has a template of what they want to do.
They got something sustainable, you think?
Yeah. Philly has something sustainable. Arizona, on the other hand, is just getting a bunch of veterans to trade at the trade deadline and then go back to what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like, I hope I'm wrong about that, but I
They
think
really
Arizona...
don't have veterans to trade. If they're going to trade people, it's going to be those 2 big names. It's going to be Keller and Schmaltz.
Keller, Schmaltz, Kerfoot, Zucker for sure.
Kerfoot has no value.
Zucker's for sure
He's
gone.
hurt.
Yeah,
He
but
might not be able to get traded if you can see fit injuries long term.
If he's available, teams will probably call him because that's the entire reason why they signed him.
And I do agree at some point the saves are a big thing because, for reference, I looked at it. He's making on average 33. Vejmelka's making on average 33 saves a game.
Oh my gosh!
And
I don't think that's sustainable either.
I don't think so either. But
they'll catch a first for him.
We'll see. I'm hoping it's the start of maybe them turning around, being a laughingstock. And like I said, the Central, in my opinion, is still so weak to where if few things go wrong, like, the Avs and Stars are going to sit there at 1 and 2.
Yeah, for sure.
I think 3 is like 3, and if in a wild card spot is massively up for grabs. I'm not saying they're going to get it because that requires a lot, and I mean a lot, to go right for Arizona. But I like some things of what they're doing, given the fact that, like, I think it's also one of these things where it feels like, especially, it's not the organization's doing, but I think it's the players doing. They look at this as like everybody looks at us like a doormat. So everybody's just expecting us to walk over and just lay down and die like a doormat. And I think that mentality, is helping them play very well to start off the season.
I agree.
I don't know if it's going to stay because obviously they're dog days. Like, the hockey season is a grind like baseball. It's not like football where it's like, okay, every game could legitimately like
alter your season
like that. Whereas like hockey, it's like there are points that are going to alter your season.
Yes.
It's like there's also just a lot of points where it's just like, okay, we can just get it next time. But I think Arizona takes every game seriously.
Really, because they have to.
Yeah, because they have to. Like, all those players know that it's like it's their job.
You're basically, if you're on that team right now, you're fighting for your future in the league. That's really how it's going.
Yeah. And whereas you see teams like the Blues, the Wild, the Preds, like, you got a decent amount of tenure, or most likely you'll bounce around to another team if you don't work out there.
Yeah.
Whereas the Coyotes, it's like, if you are bad there,
you're
there's like
done.
A 50 to 80% chance you don't get signed again.
Yeah. Because if you don't work in Arizona, because like Arizona is really like the land of opportunity in the NHL. Like if you don't work out there, you're probably getting a minor league deal
at best.
Yeah.
Sheesh. But
yeah.
I do like what they're doing to start off. I hope they can find a way to make it sustainable, which I think if they could just cut down the shots, even if it's just by 5, keep it to like 30, 27 shots a game, I think they could be on a sustainable run.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just the shots have to get lowered a little bit.
Especially with, like, Vejmelka's playing good now. Yeah, Vejmelka's playing good now, but
That's
if you have that high of a shot volume and if it gets to the point where you need to play him, like, 50, 60 games, like, that's not a good recipe.
They're probably going to. It's not like their backup's bad. At least from what I watched. I watched the game, and it was with their backup, Connor Ingram. He actually played really good in the game I watched him.
Oh, yeah.
So
who've been Arizona's opponents, by the way? Like
I know they beat the crap out of the Blues 6-2. They beat the Ducks 2-1. They lost to the Islanders 1-0. They lost to the Rangers 2-1, and they beat the Devils in a shootout 4-3.
Okay, so they have a good win in there. Okay.
Like they have that big blowout win against St. Louis, and they actually played very good against a Devils team that was projected to basically roll over them.
Yeah.
And, like, even their 2 losses, like, 2-1 to the Rangers and 1-0 to the Islanders. Like, those are not bad losses.
No, they're not. Vejmelka masterclass in the first one. Connor Ingram with a 9.29 the second.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They're not, like, letting up crazy shots, but they're also, like, they're not, like, getting blasted every game. Like, they actually are putting up competitive. Now, we'll see, because their next 2 games, Kings. So we'll see if that can stay. If they can put up a spirited fight and win one of those games, I think Arizona could be a team that cause a lot of teams problems this year.
Oh yeah, and like they've always played that role with like giving good teams a bit of a struggle. So like, I still think they're gonna be, when the season's said and done, they're probably gonna be a bottom feeder. But like, I don't think it's going to be as bad as years past. Like, I don't think they're going to finish in the bottom 5. I can see them finishing, like, middle of the pack in the Western Conference.
6th in the Central.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm going to say, and this is just an opinion, I think they are better than the Blackhawks still.
Well, yeah, because the Blackhawks are
horrendous.
But the Blackhawks beat the Leafs and the Penguins.
I think they're top, like, outside of their, like, top 5 or 4 best players, the rest of the team is bad, disgusting, terrible. And I think the Jets are hot garbage.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I think the Coyotes will finish above them, and then at that point, if they could just get any sort of momentum, they could be better than the Preds. They could be better than the Blues, possibly. Not saying they're going to be. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
I agree with that. What was the other thing that we wanted to... Because I think we covered everything.
Should we cry about McDavid, or should I? Because I want to cry.
Well, yeah, we can get into McDavid a little bit, and then we'll wrap it up. So, McDavid is out for, I think it's like week-to-week basis with a quote-unquote upper body injury.
Why don't people tell the injuries?
Hate that distinction.
I hate that.
Because it's the NHL, and
what does that mean? Is your arm hurt? Is your chest about to cave in on itself? Like, is your rib cage destroyed?
I don't know.
Do you have a broken lung, like a collapsed lung? Do you have a dislocated shoulder, a torn labrum? Like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and I'm gonna whatever. But
I'm trying to load it. Yeah. So Connor McDavid is expected to miss 1 to 2 weeks. He suffered an injury during the Jets game. His final shift in the third period, so it's his left side.
Great.
So it's probably like a muscle strain or pull or something.
Maybe.
Yeah. He's out 1 to 2 weeks. He's gonna end up missing the Heritage Classic, which is an outdoor game again. I think it's against the Flames. It is against the Flames.
What I'm hearing is the Oilers are gonna be bad until he comes back.
We're gonna see how well Leon Draisaitl can carry the Oilers for the next couple weeks.
Hey, I mean,
He's good enough to do it. It's just, are there enough players around him is the issue.
And that answer is no.
Because they're 1-3-1, but they're like a not good 1-3-1. Like they just haven't looked good.
They've looked as bad as us in
And
Seattle.
like, granted, like we're not that many games in, so like don't take everything we're saying as like gospel because like there are ebbs and flows to the season, and like you could start off like 0-13 and you can come back and be a playoff team. Like
It's not often, but
it's not often, but it's happened.
Yeah, no, it is possible. And I don't think it's like, okay, let's panic and hit the red button. Like,
Yeah.
That is like 23, 22 games into the season.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you're like a fourth of the way in the season. I'm like, all right, my team has like 5 wins through 20 games. That's we're hitting the red alarm button.
Like I've said before, you don't know what your team is until you're like 20 games in.
Yeah. And at that point, if you don't have double-digit wins then, or like at least 9, then you can hit the red panic button.
Yeah.
But like now it's like, okay, this is ugly. Let's hope they figure it out. Also, before we get off, I was just goal Buffalo against Ottawa.
Who scored it?
Peyton Krebs.
Oh, okay.
I'm also I'm just checking one last thing, making sure I don't have a certain.
I was gonna say, how's fantasy hockey going for you? The 0-2 Nicholas team.
I'm making sure I did not have.
Did you put McDavid on IR?
Yeah, I did. I picked
Okay.
up Alexander Carrier from Nashville. Yes.
Okay. That's not who I would have picked up, but okay.
Yes. But
Seth Jarvis exists.
I know, but I need defense. My defense is crying right now for some help. My defense is crying for help. Owen Power has been so bad this year.
Oh man.
I just took a giant whiff. But no, but yeah, just quick updates that happened, and the score for Toronto is still 1-0.
It's still 1-0. Period 2
You know
is
what's
starting up
funny
soon.
about that? Ovi's on the bench. You know how many shots he has in the first period?
0.
7.
Seven.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for this one.
First week of the NHL season.
First week of the NHL season. I think we should get out of here until serious breaking news happens when the 7:00 games begin.
Yes. And for everybody, if you are listening online, please be sure to follow any of our streaming sites, whether if it's Spotify, whether if you watch it on YouTube, or where else do we have it? SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts.
We literally have it
just
wherever
about
you get
anywhere.
your shows.
So if you missed it live, make sure you get it anywhere. We got all these other sites that you can always pick it up from.
Yep. All right. And with that being said, have a good week, everyone. Hopefully your team gets better if they're not doing good, or they stay good if they are.
Amen.
But until next time, have a good week. We'll see you guys later.